Hi, gang, it's Adam.
And Patrick.
Coming up on today's episode, we celebrate Walt Disney World Resort's 50th anniversary by listing 50 things we love about visiting the most magical place on Earth. As always, we cover the latest Disney news and close out the show with some Quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gaze Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Patrick, the magic is calling Kazuki.
Ooh, Adam, fanny pack full of secrets, hummel.
So many secrets in my little fanny pack. Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm very excited, Patrick. How are you?
Excited for what? I wonder. I'm doing very well as well. Went for a little jog this morning, a sunrise jog, and I'm feeling ready to record.
Funny you should mention your jog. That's what I was excited for.
For me, getting any activity at all.
Proud of you, buddy. I'm so proud of you. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Now, of course, I'm excited, as I imagine you are, Patrick, because we are heading off to Walt Disney World this week.
We are indeed. This is our last recording prior to our week off, which means we have an exciting episode coming up for you while we're out of town. We'll talk about that later, but it's all happening, my friend. It's all happening.
We're going to be celebrating Walt Disney World Resort's 50th anniversary.
Well, and they're celebrating us as well, I feel like.
We're a part of the agenda?
We are. We're a last-minute addendum to the agenda.
Valued guests. I think that's what they consider us. We are absolutely valued guests. Yes.
Yeah, there's definitely an asterisk next to that statement. See below for definition.
Well, speaking of agendas, Patrick, we have quite the agenda for this week's episode.
We do. Funny enough, last week we were saying, let's just talk about the 50th and get into it, make it a short episode, but a lot has happened since our last episode.
Let's just open by saying later this week is October, if you can believe it. And that means it's time to celebrate LGBTQ History Month.
This is the month. It's always the time, but this is the month to really dig in to our LGBTQ plus history makers, wouldn't you say?
That's right. We need to celebrate them. We need to honor them. We need to remember everyone who came before us and the contributions that they made. And I think, Patrick, maybe take the lessons we learned from their stories and apply them to how we can support the LGBTQ movement going forward.
Excellent way to say that. Absolutely. In fact, Adam, let's issue a challenge to our tweeters out there. Do something this month that impacts the community in a positive way, whatever it is. If it's making a donation, donating your time, supporting something on social media, just do something. You'd be surprised at how much of a difference anything, any small change in your life can make.
Do something for
do
once.
Something. That's right. Won't you please? And let us know. Let us know how you made an impact on the community this month.
Excellent suggestion, Patrick.
Thank you so much. I'm very wise. And speaking of the LGBTQ community, Adam, our little circle, our community of gays is, as you said at the top of the show, heading to Walt Disney World. We've been prepping, and we had some failures this past week, didn't we?
A couple of fails. As you all know, there is last minute prep that goes into any kind of Disney parks vacation. And Patrick and I were up bright and early, really 2 days, because we wanted to grab reservations for some highly sought after experiences.
I've really been awake since. I can't sleep, Adam. I can't get it off my mind. Our hashtag failure.
His eyes are propped open with toothpicks. Must be painful, but he's doing it. Yeah, we got up early because we wanted to get reservations to the highly sought after Space 220 restaurant in Epcot, and we wanted to get a reservation for a fireworks dining package in Epcot to experience Harmonious from a lovely patio.
Neither of which happened.
But we tried, right?
Yeah, we gave it the old college try. That's absolutely true. Here's what I'll say. Disney, if you're listening, and I think that you are, You got to fix that. You got to fix your reservation system. You got to fix your website. It is broken and it is garbage.
Yeah, when we got up early for the Harmonious dining packages in Epcot, never a good sign when you pop on the old computer and you see already that Space Mountain graphic with "we're about to blast off," and it just keeps cycling and cycling. I was like, This is not going to end well for us.
If that, I'm actually used to that, and I'm fine with the waiting room. I am used to it because of Run Disney or any product release. If you see that, you're actually in good hands. You think you're close, maybe, you're in a waiting room. Mm-hmm. It's when you log in and it doesn't recognize your username, or it just fully shuts down and crashes and you can't get there. It's absolutely insane. And they know they're going to have these mass quantities of people breaking the internet. And so I don't understand why they aren't planning better for that. Because even today, I'll tell you what, even today, there are still many glitches happening with the reservation systems.
It's not a perfect system. It's not quite as well oiled as this podcast is.
It's not. That is absolutely true. And really, I didn't expect anything less, but here we are.
Here we are, reservation less for both experiences. So, Patrick, it just means no trip to space to dine for us, and we're just going to have to watch Harmonious like commoners.
We'll keep trying, though. We'll keep trying. I never give up the hope until the hope is actually in the past.
That's a great attitude to have, PK.
Thank you so much. But something we can look forward to, Adam, is the Muppets Haunted Mansion, which just dropped a preview. And of course, the Muppets Haunted Mansion will be released on Disney Plus in about a week now, isn't it?
Yes, October 8th, I believe. Friday, October 8th.
Did you watch the trailer, Adam?
I did watch the trailer. I'm much more excited about it now than I was before. Granted, I know a lot more now, but the kind of twist they have on it seems really appealing.
I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be cute as all get out. I think this is going to be what we've been waiting for a while for a Muppets film.
I've been checking out the old social media, Patrick, and how people are responding to the trailer on social media. And a lot of people seem really enthusiastic after watching the trailer. And already they seem to be kind of clamoring for the Muppets exploring other attractions in other specials.
Yes, absolutely. And I have to say, I believe it was our Tweedle Rob who wrote into us a week or two ago saying that there should be a Muppets overlay for the Haunted Mansion, maybe during Halloween time. Couldn't agree more. And I don't know, it might happen. This looks like it's rife for it to happen.
We would love to see that, absolutely. And it's really fun to see all of the celebrity guest appearances they have in this special. Kind of harkens back to the old Muppet Show and the celebrities they would bring on there. And we also learned a fun little tribute, the final appearance by Ed Asner in this special.
Yeah, absolutely. I did not expect that. Very excited. I think it's going to be amazing. Can't wait to see it.
And you know, Tweedles will be sharing our thoughts and opinions of it after its release.
We sure will. We may even dedicate an entire episode to it. Who can say?
Who can say? We can say. We might do that, right?
We can do whatever we want, but sometimes we like you to say as well, which is why we're going to head into a new Tweedle shout-out. Was that a great segment? I don't really know, but we do have a new listener, Austin, who sent us a lovely email recently.
Brand new Tweedle, Austin. Thank you so much for reaching out to us. Austin says, "Hey boys, new to the podcast and absolutely love it. I'm a college professor." Patrick, we're attracting these smarties now.
Finally, it's finally happening.
Yeah, it's been dummies for so long, but finally we've got a brain listening to this podcast. Austin says, "I'm a college professor that does research in LGBTQ inclusion and marginalization in sport and recreation settings, and he's also a Disney fanatic. So your podcast really hits the spot in a lot of ways. I bought a couple of t-shirts, Hello Gravy Fries and Canadian Guys, and I'm looking forward to the Discord channel mentioned on your last podcast. I also followed y'all on Twitter. You can find Austin on Twitter at Dr. Austin 80. And he goes on to say, I can't wait for more content. All the best."
Aw, thank you, Austin. And we should say that's DR, doctor, not the full word doctor, Austin 80.
And funny that Austin should mention that Discord channel because we have one now.
We do. I don't know if you're doing it on purpose, but you're saying Discord, and it actually is Discord, but I think that we should start calling it Discord.
I was not doing it on purpose, but I'm proud of myself for coming up with that without even realizing it.
That's right. I'm calling you in, not calling you out.
If you recall, Tweedles, in last week's episode, our Tweedle Daniel, who you can find on Instagram at DancoDirect, suggested we start a Discord
Heyo.
channel or server, and we did just that. You can find us on there at GDTD Podcast.
And so once you're there, we're kind of making this up as we go, Tweedle, so let us know if you have suggestions, right? Mm-hmm. We have some subcategories within our main channel, GDTD Podcast, where you can talk about all things general. Who can say what general is? Maybe it's your favorite general from World War II. Who knows? We have a Disneyland channel. We have a Disney World channel, Disney Movies, Disney Plus, and episode feedback. And if you have suggestions for more channels, let us know.
Please do that. If you'd like to join, you can DM us at GDTD Podcast on Instagram. Got that, everybody? So you have to use a different social media app to get to the other social media app, and we'll send you a link to join us on Discord.
I wonder out loud to myself, Adam, if we can also place that link on our website.
You know, we can, and I was thinking about that this week, but I'm like, what else goes on that page then? Is it just the link and we're like, here you go?
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay, maybe we should just do that. Also, I wanted to make it a little bit red velvet ropey, like you can come in, you can't.
I like this, but we are going to let everybody in.
We are, unless you're trying to sell something.
Do we have the power to boot people out of it if they're misbehaving?
I think so. I think we probably, I'm new to this too. I don't know, but I think so.
Oh, I just got real thirsty with power. Real thirsty with power.
You just got that way?
Yeah, I remain thirsty with power.
Patrick's got the thirst. So anyway, everybody, Discord, join us there, won't you?
That's going to catch on like wildfire, I have to imagine. Now, moving on, Adam, we have an interesting topic to talk about. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but we wanted to mention it because we sang this person's praises on our podcast a few weeks back. We're talking about Simu Liu, who, of course, plays Shang-Chi in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, there was an article that came out recently about something he said about the LGBTQ plus community, and we feel like this is a good place to talk about it. So let's talk about it for a little bit and then move on, shall we?
Yes, let's do that. You know, in last week's episode, we had our tea party, and we typically like to cover news topics, salacious topics, Patrick. And as luck would have it, we finished recording, and the very next day we became aware of this article. It was a September 17th, The Advocate article, which drew attention to the fact that Simu Liu had a Reddit account back in 2015, and he made some controversial posts on that Reddit account linking homosexuality and pedophilia, or kind of connecting them in a very unfortunate way.
Yeah, his wordplay was, as you said, unfortunate, I think, here. Mm-hmm. I don't know the full details. I read what I could about all of this, and it definitely left a bad taste in my mouth. Mm-hmm. I think it's a very complicated issue, though. I don't know that I'm super quick to cancel Simu Liu. I think, in my opinion, here's just my opinion, take it or leave it, it sounds like he made an error in judgment in what he said, absolutely. I think this was a while ago, and he made an uneducated, unexperienced comment. And it has implications, unfortunately. What you say matters.
That's right. In the post, he mentioned that he recently played a pedophile and that the experience made him, quote, much more sympathetic to anyone who is born with those urges. And then he went on to say, quote, from a biological standpoint, it's no different than being gay, a small mutation in the genome that determines our sexual preferences. Taking advantage of minors is wrong, disgusting, and vile even, end quote. So again, just like that really stupid connection that people have made for so long between pedophilia and homosexuality. And even this wasn't like a direct comparison. It was just such an unfortunate way that they were tied together.
Yeah, it to me didn't sound like he was linking them in that they are the same.
Right.
What he meant to say, I assume, is that he's linking them in how they are treated in the medical community. And even still, those comments really don't hold much water for me. As I said, I think he was uneducated at the time. Hopefully, he's gained some more knowledge by now. In fact, we should, in his favor, mention that he not really apologized for it, but he did say that things I said in the past are immature and uneducated. So I give him a little bit of props for there, but he hasn't made a comment on this officially yet now that the story has returned. Mm-hmm. Neither has Marvel or Disney. And I do think that we are owed that. We are owed an actual apology and an understanding so we know that he doesn't actually feel that way.
Yeah, we need some clarification. We need a definition. We need some kind of delineation on where he exactly stands. I think we know where he actually stands, but we need to hear it come from him. And we need Disney and Marvel to come out and reiterate their beliefs when it comes to this kind of misstatement. I mean, we know where they stand, but it needs to be said. It needs to be clarified.
For sure. As I said, this is a moment for me where I don't feel like this is a cancel culture moment. This is more of a correction corner moment, if you will. So it goes to show you, everybody, your words matter. Your words do matter, and select them carefully because someone's listening.
And I got to say, I'm a little relieved that this hasn't blown up. I think it's very telling maybe of how the LGBTQ community approaches stories like this now when they break. You know, there could have been this extreme uproar, but I think we're a little bit more sensitive to understanding the nuances when it comes to approaching misstatements like this. And I hope that, again, it's clarified and that it's just a blip, an accidental misstatement, and we can move on.
Absolutely. I think that we should call people in and understand them before we absolutely call them out and cancel them.
Beautiful, Patrick. You said that so well.
Thank you so much, Adam. Well, speaking of beautiful, let's move on, shall we? Because next week we have a very special episode that we should talk about.
I assume you're referencing my beauty in that episode?
I'm mentioning someone's beauty in that episode, and it is not you nor I.
Since Patrick and I will be out of town next week, enjoying Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, we will have a Walt Quizney episode on next Monday for y'all to enjoy.
We will indeed. It is a 50th extravaganza. We are going to be doing a Disney World trivia featuring weird Disney history that Adam really lost his mind coming up with, I imagine.
Loved it. Loved every moment of it. Y'all, there is some weird history that happened at Walt Disney World. And joining us for that episode as our Tweedle contestant is Jeff, who you can find on Instagram at the Disney Parks Teacher.
Jeff was so charming, so delightful. I just know you're all going to fall madly in love with him, just like his fiance did.
Just like Will did. And the fun thing about Jeff, because he is the Disney Parks Teacher after all, he was actually so knowledgeable that he would also drop some really interesting facts about attractions and experiences. So be sure to tune in to that episode because I guarantee you will learn something.
That's true. He really took us to task on our Disney knowledge. And a fun fact, we should say that Jeff will be running the London Marathon very soon. He's training for that right now.
He is, so please reach out to him and wish him luck on that. He actually said that he believes he'll be able to listen to the episode while he's running the London Marathon, which is just such a thrill for us to know that our podcast will be the Red Bull that he needs.
It'll be as though he's running away from us, though, I think. That's what he's going to be imagining.
That's better. Yeah. He'll be using the podcast to fuel himself to run even faster and further than he ever has before.
Run out of fear, Jeff. Run out of fear. Well, speaking of Disney World history, Adam, now's the perfect time, I think, to drop some This Week in Disney History knowledge. Jeff, if you're listening, I bet you didn't know these things.
What a challenge, Patrick.
Only he will know if he's telling us the truth or not. Only he will know. But let's get into it. 39 years ago, Adam, on September 28th, 1982, a few days ahead of Epcot's official opening, Disney World sold its first annual passes, then called annual passports. With this new pass for $100, guests could enjoy admission to both Magic Kingdom and Epcot and all of the attractions for 1 year. Now, along with this, ticket books were officially a thing of the past. No longer would a guest need to purchase a general admission ticket along with a ticket book to experience an attraction.
Fascinating. I wonder if any of our Tweedles of a certain age out there have their original annual passport.
Ooh, I would love to know that. If you are listening and you have one, take a picture and send it to us. We will post it. We want to see it. I love history like that.
Send us a pic of that pass hole.
Oh dear, we have to move on from that. 74 years ago, Adam, on September 27th, 1947, Disney's 12th feature film, Fun and Fancy Free, was released, narrated by Jiminy Cricket. This is actually 2 animated shorts, Bongo, the story of a circus bear cub who runs away, and Mickey and the Beanstalk, one of my very favorites. Now, this film is very significant for Mickey Mouse because this would mark the handing of the torch, or the microphone, from Walt Disney himself to Jim McDonald as the official voice of Mickey Mouse. McDonald would go on to voice Mickey for the next 30 years until he retired in 1976, at which time the very famous Wayne Allwyn became the next in line to voice Mickey.
What was the first short that was included in that package?
Bongo.
I've never seen Bongo.
It's really cute. It's really cute. I know that you have seen Bongo somewhere, not the short, but I mean the character, because you probably went, who is that circus bear? And it's Bongo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But as far as Mickey and the Beanstalk goes, I share your admiration for that short. It is so charming.
So charming. If you have a chance to go in the store, I think it's called Sir Mickey's within the Magic Kingdom, there's a lot of nods to Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Love that store. Love that kind of giant, shall we say, Easter egg hidden in plain sight in that store.
The giant Easter egg for sure. Moving on, our last item, 83 years ago, on September 28th, 1938, a new theatrical sound system was tested for the very first time. Fantasound, developed by William E. Garrity and John N.A. Hawkins, was created specifically for the movie Fantasia. Now, this new system took separate recordings of each orchestra section and then mixed them to produce 4 distinct audio tracks, which would then come out of 50-plus speakers positioned around a theater. Fantasound directly led to the development of the 5.1 surround sound format we use today.
I think we've talked on the podcast previously about how the sound system was installed in theaters specifically for Fantasia because Walt Disney wanted that kind of quote-unquote actual experience of listening to a live orchestra.
Yeah, he knew how special Fantasia was going to be, and he wanted to just really plus that for audiences around the country and around the world, really. And because of his idea, we now have surround sound.
Well, excellent tidbits from Disney's history, Patrick, as always, and I applaud you for not even mentioning Walt Disney Resort's opening. Because why? Aren't we past that already?
I should have prefaced all of this with, this entire episode is based on the anniversary of Walt Disney World, so we need not mention it again.
We need not. You all know it at this point. Walt Disney World is a marketing machine, and they've drilled it into your perfect little brains already.
As we will be doing as well. But first, Adam, we do have to head into the news.
But before that, we have a very special word from an extraordinary sponsor of this week's podcast.
2 extraordinary sponsors, Adam. How dare you?
They're both so handsome. They're both so engaging.
They're us. They're us, everybody. It's me and Adam. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
Have you ever been to a Disney park and thought to yourself, gee, I wish I had a GDTD pin to go along with this trip?
Every single trip, every single moment, Patrick, I've been in a Disney park. I would love a pin to accompany the experience.
Well, boy, have I got the thing for you, Adam. It's a pin. It's a GDTD pin.
For those of you that don't know, and how could you not know by now? Because basically we talked about it in the banter segment, and we've been talking about it for weeks now. We are heading to the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World Resort, and we want to see you there.
We want to see all of your beautiful faces, masked or unmasked. Only outside, though, unmasked. Inside, we want to see your masked face, absolutely, unless you are actively eating or drinking. Thank you, Disney.
There are some parameters, yes, so please adhere to those.
Yes. Read the room, I think. Read the room is the is the general consensus. But we would love to see you. Grab a photo with you. Everything safe, absolutely. And, as I said, Adam, we have a pin for you if you want to see us. If you happen to be there, we want to thank you for being a Tweedle, and a photograph is not thanks enough. No. In fact, it's probably detrimental to your social media accounts.
Absolutely, yeah.
But we do have an exclusive complimentary GDTD pin just for you.
What kind of pin, you may ask? I'm so happy that you did ask because I have the details. They are 1.25 inches and feature our full-color logo on gunmetal enamel with a butterfly clutch pin back.
I want a butterfly clutch. You know what I mean?
Just like a bedazzled small purse that you might carry to a very formal event?
Yes, I want one of those. Note to self, put that in our shop. Absolutely. We should do commercials more often, Adam. And the back of each of these pins is embossed. I said it, embossed with our GDTD monogram.
I don't want to be too forward, Patrick, but they're gorgeous. Would you say they're gorgeous?
They are absolutely gorgeous. They're stunning. In fact, really, really beautiful craftsmanship.
They are. So if you're a pin collector, say a Disney pin collector, this might be just the thing for you. But in general, if you're just a fan of the podcast, if you follow us on Instagram, if you're meeting us for the very first time that day, we want to say hello, we want to say thank you, and give you one of these pins.
But the magic doesn't stop there, Adam. No. In addition, you will have the chance to add some extra magic to your visit while you're in Walt Disney World if you take a selfie with your pin clearly on display in front of a Walt Disney World landmark. Think Cinderella Castle, think Spaceship Earth, a favorite attraction, your favorite wall within Disney, your resort that you're staying at the boardwalk, outside of a restroom. Who can say that the possibilities are endless? And post this pic to your Instagram feed and tag us at GDTD podcast. You will automatically be entered to win one of 5 $50 Disney gift cards.
$50, you say?
I do say $50 for all things Disney, which, by the way, you can use at a Disney on Broadway show now as well.
That's right. You can use it at a Broadway show. You can use it during your visit to the parks.
You can use it to purchase a trip to the parks.
You can use it for whatever your heart desires. We'll be randomly drawing one winner per day, except for October 1st. That day gets 2 winners. And we'll DM the winners to obtain their email address and send them the gift card via email, like we said, so they can use it while they're in Walt Disney World Resort for the 50th, if they so choose.
Amazing. This sounds like a lot of work on our part. Well, your part, really. I'm not gonna do this, but you are, Adam. So thank you in advance.
I'm already exhausted, Patrick.
We will also post the daily winners to our Instagram feed each night so you all know who won. So, Adam, how will they know where we'll be and when?
So glad you asked, Patrick. I'll tell you right now. Thursday, September 30th, we'll be in Disney's Animal Kingdom. Friday, October 1st, we'll be in the Magic Kingdom, because duh. Saturday, October 2nd, we'll be in Epcot. And Sunday, October 3rd, we'll be in Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Absolutely. We'll probably post this on Instagram as well, so you don't have to remember this off the top of your heads. But do shoot us a DM in our Instagram if you happen to be in the same park as us, and we will meet up and give you a pin.
And you need not be in the parks for you to say hi. Again, we'll be all around that resort, so stop us anywhere you see us. Really, anywhere. Anywhere. Each morning, we'll post our looks of the day to our Instagram feed or stories so you know what to be on the lookout for. Or, you can just look for a big gay eating fudge and a smaller gay eating popcorn.
Oh, I like that. What if there's many? What if there's many of those?
I would just ask them for a pin, too, because you never know. They might have pins that they're giving away as well.
This is true. Just start asking random people if they have a pin. You never know. You'll meet some friends, if nothing else. That's absolutely true. And if you are a Patreon member, listen up, because you should be on the lookout for a Patreon-only post-trip giveaway. So 5 Patreon family members will be drawn at random to receive pins. And on top of that, one of those 5 patrons will also receive a $50 Disney gift card.
That's amazing. Patrons, you need not do a single thing. You're already entered. And if you'd like to be considered for that drawing, feel free to join our Patreon fam by visiting gazetothed.com/donate.
And if you will be in the parks and you happen to be a Patreon member, well, that's just 2 entries to win a gift card.
Who doesn't love 2 entries?
Everyone loves them. You all know it. You all know it. You all embrace it.
So stay tuned to our Instagram at GDTD Podcast. We'll have more information there very soon, and we can't wait to see you real soon at Walt Disney World for the world's most magical celebration. On October 1st, 2 nighttime spectaculars, Harmonious and Disney Enchantment, will debut to help kick off the 50th anniversary festivities during the world's most magical celebration at Walt Disney World Resort. And as a special early 50th surprise, Disney Parks blog will be live streaming performances of both groundbreaking shows prior to their premieres in Epcot and the Magic Kingdom. Beginning at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, this Wednesday, September 29th, Harmonious will make its small screen debut from Epcot. One of the largest nighttime spectaculars ever created for a Disney park, Harmonious is a key milestone in the transformation of Epcot, paying tribute to the stories and songs that unite us all, featuring new technology, magic that includes special pyrotechnics, moving fountains, special lighting, and media. As we've previously mentioned, Disney Live Entertainment and Walt Disney Imagineering have created a transformative experience with Harmonious that invites you to travel the globe through new interpretations of classic Disney songs as you've never heard them before. The songs are reimagined in more than a dozen languages by a diverse group of 240 artists from around the world. Just about 24 hours after the Harmonious event, Disney Parks blog will live stream the new nighttime spectacular Disney Enchantment, along with a special celebratory moment on Thursday, September 30th at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time from Magic Kingdom Park. Disney Enchantment inspires viewers to believe in magic with captivating Disney music, enhanced lighting, and immersive projection effects that extend for the first time from Cinderella Castle down Main Street, USA. The evening extravaganza features stunning fireworks as well as an emotional original song entitled You Are the Magic by 8-time Grammy Award winner and former Walt Disney World cast member Philip Lawrence. This one-of-a-kind show features characters, moments, and music from dozens of Disney and Pixar animated films. It takes viewers beyond the ordinary to a land of magic where they'll be swept up in a world of wonder, just like listening to every single episode of this podcast. Through it all, they'll discover they only have to look within to find the power to believe and make dreams come true, because the magic was inside them all along. Patrick, a little preview for those who aren't able to make the trip to Walt Disney World to celebrate the 50th, live streams of Harmonious and Disney Enchantment.
So, why are we going if we can just see it ahead
Why even
of time?
spend the money? We could just be watching it at home.
It's true. It's true. Very exciting, though. I'm glad that they're doing this for everybody who cannot be there, because there's only so many people who can be there.
Totally true, Patrick. And it's kind of a fun little slappity slap to the face to all those vloggers, right? Like, we're just going to show everyone this, and you can just cool your heels because we're going to be the first.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. And this will just be a preview for us to know how we're going to be watching it, because we'll be watching it through somebody's iPad live in the parks.
Yeah, we will.
Like a drag queen desperate for camera time, Disney World recently made updated attraction and experience reveal after reveal after reveal in prep for the 50th anniversary and beyond. Starting with the most exciting, according to yours truly, the Let the Magic Begin Castle Show is once again listed as a scheduled event in the Magic Kingdom beginning on October 1st. Historically, the show was a welcome to the park opening ceremony with Mickey and friends on the steps of Cinderella Castle. No word on if the show has been updated, but times are listed as 5 minutes before the official park opening each day. As a fun fact, as of this recording, the times are actually listed as PM instead of AM. Clearly, everyone on the website team needs a little nap. Take a little nap
I think that might be accurate, Patrick. The magic usually begins for me around that time after I've had a couple cocktails.
Do the show again! Do it again! Next up, nobody's favorite parade, the Electrical Water Pageant, will include a few 50th anniversary updates. A new castle float featuring the 50th anniversary stamp will bookend the parade and will include a version of the anniversary song, The Magic is Calling. These additions join a dragon, a whale, a dinosaur, and an American flag in the water pageant. Disney.
Come on, it's cute.
Uh-huh. Moving over to Main Street in the Magic Kingdom, the Main Street Confectionery will finally reopen with a brand new look on September 29th. Closed since March 2021, the confectionery will include new interactive features allowing guests to customize their treats and an expanded layout. The Main Street Cinema, which was serving confectionery realness as the temporary treat shop, will now serve an overlay themed to the Vault Collection 50th anniversary merchandise. The overlay will feature vintage photos, colors, backdrops, and props inspired by attractions from Disney World history.
If I may just jump in here for a moment, Patrick, and just say Disney Jesus be praised, because I don't know if you saw this, but one of the new treats that the confectionery is offering is peanut butter fudge with M&M peanut butter candies on top, and then it's drizzled in chocolate.
Oh my goodness, we're getting several a day.
Note to self, pack your insulin shot, Adam.
It's true. And then ship some home as well. Ship some home. They don't travel well. They don't. They really don't. Moving on to some attractions updates. Mickey's PhilharMagic will close on October 11th and reopen on November 12th with the brand new Coco scene, which has already been added to Disneyland's version. Why they waited until just now to make the update is beyond my comprehension. Over at Animal Kingdom, demolition has officially begun on Primeval Whirl in Dinoland, USA. Disney has made no mention so far on what will be done in that space once the attraction has been removed. And lastly, the Muppets will be promoting their new movie, Muppets Haunted Mansion, in the parks. Available now at Pizza Rizzo, you can purchase 4 different eclairs featuring the famous stretching room paintings with the Muppets in place of the classic characters. And starting on October 1st, Muppet Vision 3D will include a Muppet Haunted Mansion preview during the pre-show, featuring exclusive content. And starting on October 8th, you can get a magic shot from a PhotoPass photographer outside of the Haunted Mansion, featuring a floating Madame Pigota. And though this is a story about Walt Disney World, Disneyland is also celebrating the new movie with photo opportunities scattered throughout the parks. And on October 8th, the Main Street Opera House will include exclusive content from Muppets Haunted Mansion.
I love all this Muppet love.
Me too. Finally.
So much going on, Patrick. So many things reopening, so many things getting updated. So many things to look forward to.
Yeah, it's very exciting what they're just sort of sprinkling as the days go on leading up to the 50th anniversary. It makes me even more excited for what magic might happen that they're not telling us about in the Magic Kingdom on the 50th anniversary itself.
Maybe we'll finally get that shirtless Disney princess show we've been waiting for.
Who's been waiting for that?
I have.
Oh, dear.
My whole life.
Oh, we have some things to talk about, Adam. Some things to talk about at the next tea party, maybe.
On Friday, November 12th, the Walt Disney Company will host Disney Plus Day, a global celebration that will come to life across all dimensions of the company. Subscribers to Disney Plus will be treated to new content releases across the service's iconic brands, including Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic, and Star in international markets, along with a special presentation on Disney Plus for fans with sneak peeks into what's to come. In honor of the second anniversary of Disney Plus, subscribers will have access to promotions and experiences across the company. Disney Parks and Resorts around the world and Disney Cruise Line will roll out the blue carpet for Disney Plus fans with some surprise and delightful moments, including photo opportunities, character moments, and ShopDisney.com will have special offers. Disney Plus Day will feature content premieres from all of the marquee brands on the service, including the streaming premiere of Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, the family-friendly adventure film Jungle Cruise, which will be available to all subscribers, the new Disney Plus original movie Home Sweet Home Alone, a reimagining of the popular holiday franchise, an all-new original series of shorts from Walt Disney Animation Studios called Olaf Presents, which finds Frozen's beloved snowman retelling several classic Disney tales as only he can, the domestic Disney Plus streaming debut of fan-favorite shorts from Walt Disney Animation Studios, including Frozen Forever, Oscar-winning shorts Feast and Paperman, the Oscar-nominated Mickey Mouse short Get a Horse, and more. The animated short film Ciao Alberto from Pixar, featuring characters from this summer's animated hit breakout film Luca, a new short from The Simpsons that pays tribute to Disney Plus's marquee brands, the first 5 episodes from Season 2 of The World According to Jeff Goldblum from National Geographic, a special celebrating the origins and legacy of Star Wars legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett, and a special celebrating the Marvel Cinematic Universe on Disney Plus with an exciting look towards the future. That's a lot of content, Patrick. You have to get through every single new release, and I expect a full report.
I'm going to watch it all in one day, for sure.
Now that's dedication, folks. Subscribers to the service will also be entertained with an inaugural Disney Plus Day fan celebration on Disney Plus, which will include breaking news, first looks, new trailers, exclusive clips, and appearances from Disney Plus creators and stars. Additionally, in honor of Disney Plus Day, Disney Plus will make its debut in South Korea and Taiwan on November 12th, and in Hong Kong on November 16th, bringing Disney's iconic characters and stories into the homes of new audiences around the globe. More exciting content premieres, consumer offers, and news will be announced leading up to Disney Plus Day. And again, that's all occurring on November 12th.
Amazing. I'm really excited about this content. It sounds like really cool new shows, really cool new drops, some stuff we've already seen in theaters that we can now see again on Disney Plus. They've been crushing it lately with their new content, I have to say.
It's so funny to think back to before Disney Plus's launch, or as I like to call it, the dark times, when we were all kind of wondering, what's this going to be? Is there going to be enough content? I think a lot of people were kind of judging the service prior to its launch because they just couldn't quite envision what it would be like for Disney to be producing successful series on the platform. And look how far we've come already. I mean, just think of The Mandalorian alone and the impact that's had. So exciting to see what's in development and what we're going to be able to experience in the near future.
And it's incredible, too, that the content is wholesome, family-friendly content, too, that people are just craving episode after episode.
Everyone in the family is allowed to enjoy the service. It's fantastic.
We should maybe take a note from Disney Plus on our show.
Too late,
possibly.
Patrick. We are so far down the rabbit hole on this show. Yeah. There's no way for us to recover at this point.
That big gay ship has sailed long ago.
Walt Disney World Resort. She looking real good for 50, Patrick.
She's looking real good.
She's kept it tight and right. And Patrick, very, very soon, we're going to be inside of her. I wish I hadn't said that, but that's where we are. I said it, everyone.
She is beauty and she's grace. She's Miss United States.
And we thought it would be downright stupid of us if we did not celebrate her in this week's feature segment.
I mean, how dare we not? How dare we not celebrate the entity, the global entity that is Walt Disney World?
So what we did, Tweedles, is we put together a little list of 50 things we absolutely love about Walt Disney World.
That's right. Buckle up. We are going to extensively talk about all 50 items on our list. Just kidding. Just kidding. Now, Adam and I have curated a list of 25 items that we love about Walt Disney World, taking a trip to Walt Disney World. Who can say what each of us is going to talk about? But think of it as a miniature yet maximal Fab 5 episode.
That's right. Only for this segment, we're not actually counting down. We're just listing. No particular order.
Nothing is least favorite to best favorite or any of that garbage that we usually do. You know, it's just garbage that we usually do. No, we're just going to list things, maybe talk briefly about them, and move on as we head down memory lane from trips past.
Love this idea for us, Patrick. And for those of you that may say, Walt Disney World, boo, I'm only Disneyland. Well, guess what? A lot of the things that we're going to bring up, I would imagine, I don't know Patrick's list of 25, but a lot of things I'm going to bring up anyway, cross over to Disneyland.
Interesting. I stuck to the homework assignment, and these are very Walt Disney World specific, but listen, you do you live your life, I'll live mine on the correct side of the street.
Okay, I stand corrected. PK is focused solely on WDW, and mine might spill over a little bit into DLR.
Well, Adam, as you are wont to do, you have cheated and done a different list, but that's okay. I'm excited to see what you have to say. Let's jump into it, Adam, and see how you've incorrectly curated your list.
The shade. Patrick, kick us off with your first.
Just kidding. Your list will be perfect as usual. But my first, number 25 on my list, or just the number we're at is number 25, I guess. It's not my least favorite. But at MCO, specifically in the airport, once you've picked up your luggage, that very specific sound of the wheels hitting the tiles as you walk toward transportation, that click, 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 click. Mm-hmm. It's real specific, and I love it. I love that sound. It lets me know I'm in Orlando.
There's always a huge sense of relief when you touch down at MCO, and the excitement just keeps building and building and building as you get closer to the resort. I agree. Love that sound.
It's one of my favorites. It's addicting. It needs to be like my ringtone, maybe.
How about it's my ringtone when I call you?
Click, 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 click. I'll know not to answer it.
When do we ever talk on the phone? Come on.
It's true. That's not what phones are for.
All right. Well, my first selection is nighttime lighting.
Ooh, I love nighttime lighting because I look better in it.
Every single person looks better in it, and no one does nighttime lighting quite like Disney. So romantic, so beautiful. Really makes the parks feel more intimate, even if it is the largest park, like Animal Kingdom, say. It does feel like a more intimate experience.
Yeah, it makes them feel a little bit more Disneylandish, I would say.
There you go, folks. There's a Disneyland mention for you.
Love it. Next on my list, I have getting to the room for the first time and turning on the Disney Parks info channel on the TV. You all know what I'm talking about if you've been to Disney World. Unpacking and then getting ready to run, not walk, but run to the first park of the trip.
Always such a magical moment. And again, there's just that kind of feeling of, like I'm here now. I'm ready to begin my parks experiences, and I'm ready to really enjoy myself.
My favorite thing about the rooms in Disney is the map of the room. Why do you need a map of these teeny tiny rooms? I don't understand.
Listen, some people have a really hard time with it. They get a little lost, you know?
Fair enough.
For my next choice, Patrick, I selected going to bed.
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
I knew you'd know what I meant. And folks, I'm talking about that feeling when you've had such a great day in the parks. You have absorbed all the sunlight you possibly can. You've come back to your hotel. It's air conditioned. It's cool. Maybe you grabbed a treat on the way outside of the parks, which you should absolutely do. You're tucked into your covers. Maybe you're watching some Mickey Mouse shorts or vintage shorts on the TV. I love those moments.
Yeah, I, in fact, have that on my list as well, Adam. The end of the night, I've called it on my list. Like you said, grabbing that snack, enjoying it in your bed, snuggled up, remembering what you did that day, unpacking your bag maybe with some treats or some merch that you've purchased. It's great. And then planning out the next day.
Looking forward to whatever the next day will bring. Absolutely.
Well, that brings us right back to you.
So quick, Patrick. Boats.
boats, am I right?
Boats, am I right? And I'm specifically talking about transportation in Walt Disney World. I love a dark ride on a boat, absolutely, but there's something really special about taking the friendship boats in the Epcot Resort area or taking the boats across the lake to get to Magic Kingdom. I just love them as a form of transportation. It kind of makes you stop for a moment and take in where you are and relax and have that breather during a vacation that can be a little bit more go-go.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes you feel like you're doing something special, I would say.
Treat yourself to a boat trip, folks. Enjoy those boats.
Treat yourself. I am going to select from my next favorite things in the Disney park. I'm celebrating buttons. Adam, I love the I'm celebrating buttons. I feel like we as humans need to start literally wearing our accomplishments like badges of honor, and Disney does that for us. And so when you're there, I love celebrating somebody else's birthday or their anniversary or just congratulating them on their accomplishments. It can be a great icebreaker to make a new friend as well. And then having someone say it to you also just feels really good. We don't recognize each other enough outside of Disney, so it's something special that they offer us.
Can you imagine how many buttons I would have to wear IRL if we wore them in our everyday lives?
Upwards of two.
2 whole buttons, one on each of my man boobs.
Oh, interesting. Great placements.
Well, for my next selection, Patrick, I chose men in shorts.
Just in general.
You know how you can make a s'more in the microwave?
I'm so fascinated on where this is going.
Yeah, go with me on this. You can make a s'more in the microwave and enjoy it, but a s'more is better over a campfire, and I think men in shorts are better in Walt Disney World.
And that's where the magic begins.
I mean, just show us those thighs, guys. That's where I'm at.
I like it. Guys and their thighs. That's on your list.
Also slap it on a T.
Interested in that. My next item is the sort of buzz and excitement at the Disney resorts, right? Seeing people come and go, starting their vacation or getting ready to leave their vacation, the excitement at breakfast and the tired chaos at night. It's all really fun and magical. And, you can see some crabby people there as well. But I think there's just a fun atmosphere, specifically the lobbies and the cafeterias.
Yeah, totally agree. In fact, breakfast made my list. Really, breakfast anywhere on property. I love taking the time to have a really kind of relaxing, enjoyable breakfast. Yes, you can have a very rushed morning, and that's fine too, very exciting. But there's something really special about being able to sit back and enjoy that first meal of the day. Something very luxurious about that experience.
That's right. Save the chaos for later. It'll happen later. Don't worry.
On the flip side of that, I will say if you have too much breakfast, then you're going to be in pain for a while, and no one wants that.
Consider your day before you make a menu choice.
But on a pool day, oh my gosh, just load it up.
I'm the opposite. I want to look gaunt on a pool day.
Yeah, that's a great point.
It'll never happen for me. It's okay. It's okay, though. What next on my list is an overcast, though non-rainy day in the parks. You know what I mean? When the sun is behind just a shield, an army of clouds, and the parks are just a hint cooler, and you don't need sunglasses. It's a perfect Disney day for me.
It really is. And there's something really magical about big clouds at Disney, dramatic cloud effects. When that sky is just kind of full of clouds. There's no real threat of rain, or maybe there's going to be that afternoon shower, but the way they're lit via the sun, so magical.
They look exactly like the Toy Story wallpaper clouds.
The Imagineers really think of everything, don't they?
They do. They know how to make clouds at Disney,
They know how to do clouds right. For my next choice, I chose fountains.
Fountains. I like a water feature.
Who doesn't love a water feature in a Disney park? Not only is there the beauty to look at, but there's that wonderful kind of chlorinated smell to enjoy.
Yes, indeed. Disney water has a very specific smell, that's for sure.
This may sound weird, but I love the kind of fake or phoniness of it, the kind of weird perfection that Disney has achieved, where like the water feature itself is so beautiful. It smells kind of beautiful. It's very clean and pristine. It's like it's almost too good to look at, shouldn't belong in this world. And yet there it is.
Do you have a favorite water feature within Disney?
That's a great question. I think I know it's going to be the Epcot fountain when I finally get the chance to see it this week.
If it's working, if it's on, if they're using it.
I so hope they are. I want to see it lit up at night. So many fountains to choose from. Really, there's just beautiful fountains everywhere you look.
Indeed, there is. Moving on, I'm going to select early morning, just before the sun comes up, when no one is around and walking around your hotel resort. Just a handful of people out, maybe jogging around the paths, just enjoying that peace that morning provides you.
A nice kind of Zen way to begin your day. Maybe you go to the lobby area or the cafeteria dining area and grab a coffee to bring back to your room.
And you really have to be an early morning person to enjoy that, because the chaos starts very quickly. But if you're an early morning person like I am, it is astounding how beautiful and peaceful a resort can be.
Yeah, I love that time of day. And we've talked about this in the podcast before, but we are both early morning people, which makes us such excellent travel companions because we love to be up bright and early and ready to go.
It's true. When I will be with Dan on this trip, I'll have to like place my clothes at the door, throw them on and run out so as not to wake him.
Oh, Dan, I love you. Well, sticking at the resorts, Patrick, I'm going to celebrate housekeeping for a moment because they do so much to ensure that our rooms are spick and span. I know things are different right now, but in a normal Disney experience, it really is quite seamless. And even at the value resorts, I mean, everything is done to perfection. And so I really appreciate housekeeping in making that experience magical. No one wants to come back to a room that's in complete disarray. So it really is such a treat, such a privilege to come back to a room that is well maintained.
Why is your room in such disarray, Adam? I have questions.
Well, as I already talked about, Patrick, when I do come back to the room at night after I've had a couple treats, that sugar rush really kicks in, and I am absolutely manic, just tearing up whatever I can. It's a real rock star moment in their hotel room,
That's right. You cannot keep a shower curtain on its hooks when you're in a Disney resort.
Is it a shower curtain? Is it a gown? Who knows what purpose it'll serve at night?
It's your new look for the next day. That's for sure. I am moving on to Disney pins. I love Disney pins. Hunting around for that perfect pin to commemorate your trip. I love it. Or finding a great pin that really captures one of your friends or a family member. Love it. There's nothing like buying them in the parks specifically.
You and Paul, who we're going with this week to Walt Disney World, have not yet had the experience of being together on a Disney trip. So you and he will absolutely enjoy pin shopping together because he is the exact same way, Patrick. He loves just kind of exploring all of those pin racks and all of the options.
Paul and Patrick love pins.
P. Similarly, Patrick, one of my items is sparkling merchandise.
You do like a glittery look.
I love a glitter moment. I love a sparkle moment. I don't normally purchase a lot of merch while I'm on a Disney trip, but man, do I love looking at just kind of like the wall of mini ears and seeing all of those sparkling mini ears. I love the super unaffordable statues covered in Swarovski crystals. Did I pronounce that correctly? Who cares? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Like there's a giant Cinderella castle, maybe in the Art of Disney, that's covered in tiny crystals, and it's so well lit and sparkling in that light. I just love looking at merchandise like that.
Yeah, there's that one. I think it's in the Germany pavilion, the castle in Epcot. It's so beautiful. It's about $3 million, and we can't even afford to pronounce it correctly.
That's correct. Yeah, solo class. I can't even get the words out of my mouth, but I love those kind of moments, and it takes me back to being little gay Adam in Disney parks and wanting those sparkly items so much. I just wanted to touch them and own them. And to this day, I want that experience. Just can't afford them.
I feel like you're hinting at me buying you that castle, and it's going to happen, Adam. It's going to happen.
I'm overwhelmed, PK.
I just need you to block the security guard as I run frantically and then trip and break it.
Will do. I will aid and abet you any way I can.
Thank you. Thank you. I will say I cannot keep my hands off. If there is a reversible sequin situation, I will be touching it on or off a person. Doesn't matter.
That's a warning to everyone out there. If you are wearing reversible sequins, you may be groped.
Or a promise. It could be a warning or a promise, depending on how you feel about me. Next up for me, I'm going to get specific and say drinks and or snacks at the Enchanted Rose in the Grand Floridian. I love that place. I hope we get a chance to experience that on this trip.
Me too, have not yet been. Your reviews of it have been glowing, so I'm hoping we can swing by and experience it together.
I hope so. My guess is that you're absolutely going to go on the day that I'm not there and then take pictures and send it to me and go, wish you were here, ?
That's probably what will happen.
Yeah, that tracks. No, I really love that place. It's so beautiful. It's so special. It's so calm. I love it.
Similarly, Patrick, I'll bring up a very specific drink, something that really does scream you're in Disney, to me anyway, and that's the Hightower Rocks at Nomad Lounge.
Ooh, interesting. It did for a second sound like you said you're in Disney, and I don't want that drink. But I do know the drink you're talking about.
That is something I'm going to be bringing up as one of my choices later, but we'll get to that in a moment. No, the Hightower Rocks at Nomad Lounge. I've talked about it before. It's basically like a margarita with watermelon juice in it. So delicious. I brought it up in our Fab 5 Watering Holes episode. That's episode 76. And it's so tasty with the small plate offerings they have at Nomad Lounge. I think I referenced this in that episode, but that is the moment when I truly feel like I'm in Disney, is when I'm sitting at the Nomad Lounge outside on that beautiful kind of patio near the river and just relaxing.
Yeah, I love that place too. I imagine you'll be able to experience one maybe at dinner. I think we have reservations at Tiffin's.
One? Okay.
I just said experience it. I didn't say how many you'd be experiencing.
Regardless of the gender of our server, I'm just going to tell them to keep them coming toots.
I'm sure no one will appreciate that. Absolutely. Well, moving on, I am going to generalize and say the World Showcase. I love the World Showcase. There's something very special about it, specifically on a day when all of the people who are intoxicated aren't there. Like when there's a really good day that it's not too crazy, it's a really lovely experience to just walk around. Even if you do nothing but walk around it, it's really lovely. I like it.
Also made my list, completely unique to Walt Disney World, to any Disney park, really. It's such a special experience, and I'm sorry I'm going to ruin it for you this trip, Patrick, by getting just a little too tipsy.
Oh, that won't ruin it for me. That'll make my day.
Bringing a little magic of my own to our trip, you know?
It's true. I'm very excited for when finally, hopefully soon, all of the international cast members can come back and participate in the World Showcase, because that really is what makes it magical.
Their level of hotness?
That specifically, yes.
All right, well, it's already back to you, Patrick, because we crossed over on that one.
We crossed over. Indeed, we did. I am going to move over to the Magic Kingdom and say the Partners statue is really special for me. Yes, the castle is beautiful, and it's on my list a little bit later, but I think specifically seeing the Partner statue is what makes me a little bit more emotional when I enter Magic Kingdom.
It's a perfect reminder, right, of how this all started and why we're all there. It's because Walt Disney had a dream, and he created Mickey Mouse and was able to build this empire based off of that one character. It's true.
It's perfectly encapsulated in that beautiful statue. I can't wait to see its new look now that it's been cleaned up.
Yes, I've heard they've also added a feature where every hour it just explodes with cash.
Hooray! It's a cash grab situation.
Great choice, Patrick. I'm going to go with landscaping for my next choice.
Ooh, those topiaries, though.
How about those topiaries? How about those perfectly trimmed hedges that create those beautiful kind of maze-like edges to different walkways? Like, so meticulously done. The groundskeeping crew works night and day to keep those bushes and flowers and grass just at their very best looking.
Agreed. And the groundskeeping artists, I would call them, who design them are outstanding. If I could make my perfect Epcot festival, it would absolutely include the flowers from Flower and Garden Festival around that lagoon in Epcot.
Those little dots of color in the water, just so beautiful.
So special. Moving on, next on my list is the Muppets Courtyard in Hollywood Studios. I love that area. I think it's so fun and unique, and it harkens back to the days of yore when the streets of New York were around as well. There's just sort of that little hint of that space in there too, which I really loved. But the Muppets Courtyard, it's so fun and beautiful. The Miss Piggy statue is great. That little alcove where Pizza Rizzo is, that little alleyway. It's delightful. I love it so much. And that soundtrack though.
You're absolutely right. It's such a great little area, and it's such a nice little nod to Disney MGM Studios when it was that.
Yes, indeed.
Next up on my list, Patrick, I'm choosing clocking other gay guests in the parks.
Yes, and or cast members, I would add.
Well, okay, since you brought it up, that's another one of mine. So these are two separate choices, also clocking gay cast members in the parks.
That little nod, the gay nod that you get.
Absolutely, a gay nod from other gay guests or cast members. That acknowledgement that, yes, we're both here, and yes, we're both Disney queers.
It's true. I always wonder how they know that I'm gay while I'm wearing my Minnie Mouse ears.
And skipping down Main Street?
And skipping down Main Street in a reversible sequin gown. That might be the tell. That might be it.
Maybe. Can't guarantee it, but maybe.
Can't guarantee it. Can't guarantee it. I love that one. Absolutely. I am moving on to Kilimanjaro Safari in Animal Kingdom. I think it's one of my favorite things to do. I love Animal Kingdom. We all know. I think it's my favorite park now. But that specifically, it's such a unique experience that Disney offers, and it's different every time. It really is. Mm-hmm. And it always makes me very emotional when I see these amazing, enormous beasts just walking around so close to you.
Again, a very unique experience when it comes to Disney parks attractions, and completely in line with what Walt Disney kind of envisioned, what he wanted. Again, going back to kind of the original version of the Jungle Cruise, he wanted real animals on that. Well, Kilimanjaro Safaris is kind of the result of that dream. It's an actual experience where you get to come face to face with all these different creatures.
And nothing more fun than when an animal stops your vehicle on the road. I love it. I don't know if I talked about it on the last podcast, but this time a very first happened for me. I didn't know they could get that close to you. A rhinoceros stopped us on the road and for a while, and then ran alongside of the car while we were driving. It was really beautiful. So beautiful. And then it started bashing its horns into the side of the car. It was so magical. It was just a delightful terror that happened. It was amazing. That's how a lot of people would describe this podcast, I imagine. A delightful terror. Delightful terror, minor injuries. Well, since you mentioned an attraction, Patrick, I'll stick right with you and bring up, you knew it was going to happen, people, the Haunted Mansion. And the one in Walt Disney World is so special to me. It's my fave Haunted Mansion. I have yet to experience the iterations at the international parks, so maybe I'll fall in love with one of those. But the Walt Disney World Haunted Mansion is something really special to me. A classic, absolutely a classic. Again, something that Walt Disney himself had his hands in. That's right. Such a storied history to that attraction. Really kind of fascinating development of that experience. And real Disney magic, for sure. Real, absolute Disney magic on full display. So I had to bring it up. Sorry, everybody. You did indeed. And we thank you for your passion for the Haunted Mansion. Moving on, or staying in the Magic Kingdom, I'm going to call out Cinderella Castle, specifically at dusk. Not necessarily at night yet, but at dusk when it is just starting to glow and you're standing next to it on sort of the steps that lead up to Cinderella Castle. Amazing photo opportunity, and it's so beautiful, just that really lovely glow. And then looking out over onto Main Street when all the lights start coming up, just real slowly. It's beautiful and magical. That golden hour. It's true. It's absolutely true. I love it so, so much. I'm very eager to see the makeover, the paint job, and all of the additions to the castle to celebrate the 50th. It is spectacular. Excellent choice, Patrick. And you mentioned Main Street, so I'm going to bring up the Main Street Trolley Show. Aw, I miss it so much. I hope it can come back soon. It is cheesy AF. Absolutely. I recognize that, but it's also so wonderful. And those cast members are so dedicated to selling that kind of
turn of the century lifestyle and pluckiness. I just find it so adorable.
Well, speaking of spotting a Disney gay, when those male dancers can high kick past their head, I think we all know. I think we all know. That's their version of a gay nod.
You heard it here first, folks. A high kick is a version of a gay nod.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Well done, everybody. Well done. Well, speaking of delightful legs, I guess. I don't know where this is going. Run Disney. I'm going to go with Run Disney is one of my favorite things about going to Disney World. I had to mention it. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
You know, Patrick, I was chatting with my brother the other day, and I've been trying to get him to commit to a trip to either Walt Disney World or Disneyland to experience Galaxy's Edge because he's such a Star Wars fan. And he said, well, maybe what we could do is we could tie it to a Run Disney event. And I said, well, that takes us to Walt Disney World then for sure. And then I said, you could run along with Patrick.
Oh my gosh, he would run past me. I'm sure of it. But yeah, I would absolutely start the race with him.
I don't think so. I think you guys would be at a good pace with each other.
Who can say? Who can say? But yeah, that would be delightful. I would love to hang out with your brother at Disney.
We'll make it happen. I'll be standing on the sidelines, probably eating fudge while you two dedicate yourselves to the fitness your body requires.
I feel like you have made the better choice in those two options.
Well, for my next selection, even though you threw some shade at it, Patrick, in the news, I'm going to mention the electrical water pageant.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Adam. Past Patrick is very sorry.
No need to apologize. Again, I know it's cheesy. I know it's a very kind of simple example of an experience or entertainment at the resort, but I love how it kind of harkens back to Walt Disney World's opening, and it just looks so beautiful. You know, it's just like Christmas lights on some chicken wire, but it does look really magical on the Seven Seas Lagoon with the sparkling water and the beautiful, cute little floats.
For sure. I was mostly kidding before. I mean, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it is, as we were talking about wrapping up a Disney day and heading into the nighttime, it is definitely sort of that last final kiss goodnight from the park.
And so fun when you happen to be on one of the ferry boats and you can see it kind of traveling along the shoreline. It's just a great little goodbye from the Magic Kingdom and the resorts in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Moving on, I think we are just stuck in the Magic Kingdom, Adam, because I'm going to talk about it again. I would say entering Adventureland from the Castle Hub is such a fun experience. I think for me, that is the perfect phase into music, right? The two just collide so well together and fade in and out of each other so well. And I just love Adventureland, and specifically that entrance into Adventureland is great.
Yeah, you are absolutely aware of that transition. I know we've talked about on the podcast before that Imagineers like to make those transitions somewhat subtle, right? Or seamless so that you kind of are unaware. But in this instance, you kind of want to be aware of it. You kind of want to feel that change in your surroundings as you enter Adventureland.
Yeah, the sound of those drums beating, it's so great. I love it.
Great selection, Patrick. I'm going to go back to attractions, and I'm just going to throw Expedition Everest out there.
Great decision. Such a great ride. I hope it's running while we're there.
Fingers crossed. Very unique to Walt Disney World. The best coaster on property.
It's often rated in the top 5 in Orlando specifically.
Needs some attention, needs some love, but even without the Yeti working properly, it's still an excellent experience.
Yeah, it's a great ride. A great ride for sure. Something just as thrilling, I would say, on my list is the People Mover, Adam.
Absolutely on par with the thrills of Expedition Everest. Yes.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. I absolutely love the People Mover. It's just such a fun respite from the day. It's longer than you think it is. It's relaxing. It's fun sights that you don't really normally get to see in the parks. It's great. I really love it.
I am equally in love with the People Mover. A lot of people really love this attraction. In fact, I'm going to add it to my list. So I probably have 26 now. I don't know. But it's added to my list because I should have included it.
You dum-dum.
Such a dummy I can be. Gosh, y'all. I'm going to take us to Hoop-de-Doo musical review, Patrick.
Do so, won't you? I haven't experienced it yet, so just act it out right now.
I'll do the whole show just for you, Patrick. No, you're absolutely going to love it when you do get the chance to experience it. It's so charming. It's so corny. The meal you get with it is so great. And there's such a camaraderie with everyone who's in that restaurant and in that theater experiencing that show. It's like we're all in on the joke and we're all loving every minute of it.
Yeah, I imagine it's basically dinner theater at its best and its worst in the greatest way.
Slap that on the poster, folks. Patrick just summed up the Hoop-Dee-Doo musical review.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I am, surprise, surprise, staying in Magic Kingdom for a little bit longer, Adam, and I'm going to add to mine. I do love Pirates of the Caribbean, but I specifically want to call out that first scene after the drop in Pirates within Disney World, the big open water with the ships and the cannons firing. I think it's absolutely magical and stunning. I love it.
Never want to experience a malfunction on that attraction and become aware, should the lights come on, of where the ceiling is actually at. Like, it just seems immense to me, and I always want that to be the case.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. It's so beautiful, and the smell of the water there specifically is great too.
Bromine, bromide, one of those two.
I think, yeah, that sounds right.
That they add to the water there. Yeah, that smell, that iconic battle scene. It's a little bit scary, too. You're like, where's the cannon going to hit?
Oh, oftentimes I've jumped out of my seat because it like hits right next to you, or that water just splashes you in the right spot that you don't expect it.
That is such a thrilling moment. Yeah, you do feel like I'm really here in a Disney park when you're on Pirates and experiencing that battle. Great choice, Patrick. Sticking with attractions, I'll just throw the Tower of Terror in there. I love it.
Why don't you just?
Amazing Disney storytelling at its best and a fantastic thrill ride.
Also, great Disney magic. Great Disney magic on this ride.
And if you have not seen the episode of Behind the Attraction where they explain how the Tower of Terror works, check that out because it's fascinating.
I knew most of the tricks inside of it, but there was one specific one that I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. I like this. Well done. Well done.
So creepy, so fun, so thrilling. The Tower of Terror. I love you.
So scientific as well, I would say.
Science. Bringing science into the park, Patrick.
Finally. Absolutely. Finally. Next on my list, I'm going to generalize and say just character sightings in general. I love character sightings. I do miss the photo opportunities, but I have grown to love seeing the characters just from afar, waving at you. And we all know that specific moment when one of your favorite characters, maybe on parade, maybe just walking on the parks, catches your eye and gives you a little wink and a wave. It's so magical. It brings you back to just being a kid again.
Totally. And connected to that, my next choice, watching kids lose their minds at anything.
I love that. I love that experience as well.
Seeing them look up at their parents or their guardians and them just being so enamored with whatever's happening in that moment. Maybe it's a character they've always wanted to see, or it's a moment on an attraction that they didn't know was coming. It's just so cute.
It is absolutely so cute. You can see me do this on my next item on my list, and I'm going to talk about the random bubbles and balloons that happen within Disney parks. I always, always love it so much when all of a sudden you're just surrounded by Disney bubbles and you don't know why. You can't really spot where it's coming from. It's so funny and so magical. I love it.
And science, again.
Don't you just love science?
No one knows how they create bubbles or balloons, but it is scientific. I guarantee it.
Unexplained phenomenon.
My next choice also relates to bubbles, Patrick. And I'm talking about those H2O products in the resort bathrooms.
I love how they smell.
That sea salt body wash scent, that eucalyptus and aloe shampoo. Those scents are so tied to a Disney experience for me, staying at a Disney resort, that I refuse to use them outside of staying at a resort, so that when I do go on vacation and stay at a Disney resort, I'm immediately brought back to all of the previous vacations I've had based on those scents.
Sustainability aside, I really do miss when you could take them home with you, when you sort of saved them a little bit. I am, fun fact, on my last bottle of the body wash right now.
Maybe Santa will bring you some for Christmas.
Or I'll just bring like a Tupperware and just pump them into the Tupperware and bring that home.
That's what you'll do, for sure, yeah.
Oh, because it'll open in my suitcase and then everything will be ruined.
You'll be like, quick, everybody roll around in my suitcase. We got to use this up.
Don't let it go to waste. Well, moving on, Adam, we might need those H2O products after my next item. I'm talking about any and all Disney baked goods.
Oh, yes, Patrick. Amen to this.
Any of them, really and truly, any of the Disney baked goods. I love them all. They are just as messy as they are delicious, and I don't care. And I love watching them being prepared. Mm-hmm. I love going to a bakery and just seeing them all on display. There's just something about them that is so delicious, and I want one. Every time I see one, I can't say no.
Usually my treat of choice when I leave a Disney park, as I mentioned, having that treat in bed at the end of the day. I love those cookies. I can't even call them cookies, though, because they look more like biscuits. They're just like so fat and thick and full of like white chocolate goodness or chocolate chunks. So tasty.
They're like a scone and a cookie at the same time. A skunky, maybe.
A skunky. That's the perfect way to describe them. Yes.
Yeah, so good. So good. And you know me, I am a crispy treat enthusiast. Love them so much. Hopefully they have the peanut butter ones back on full effect for this trip. They were not there last time, and I got someone fired.
I mean, that's not an inappropriate reaction to that.
I think it is an equal and opposite reaction.
It's exactly how things should have played out when you can't find a peanut butter Rice Krispie treat. Well, my next selection is heading to a very specific area in Walt Disney World Resort, and that's the boardwalk area.
The boardwalk almost made my list. I love the boardwalk as well.
Again, such a great nod to that turn of the century vibe. Love the performers on the boardwalk. Love many of the establishments on the boardwalk. R.I.P. Ample Hills. I knew there's a new ice cream shop coming in that location, so I'm excited to try that. But also included in the boardwalk, Abracadabar.
I mean, you have to include it, and you have to call it out specifically. Yeah, the boardwalk's great. Day to night, it's great. Absolutely.
A great little area. Staying there so great to be able to walk into Epcot or walk to Hollywood Studios. Just such a special little area in the resort.
It really is. It really is. Moving on, Adam, I'm going to talk about that amazing cast member that makes your trip. I think you all know what I'm talking about. Everyone's great in Disney. All the cast members are wonderful, but there's always that one that really like stands out in your memory from your trip, and it's always great. You always remember them. They did something special for you, and it made your day. So thank you to our future that amazing cast member on our upcoming trip.
Cast member compliment to that cast member.
We're just going to send them out willy-nilly ahead of time just to make sure we've covered our bases.
Susan, Charles. There's got to be a Susan or Charles working at Walt Disney World.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you so much for everything you do. Well, for my next selection, Patrick, and we may have already alluded to this, maybe. We certainly have in a way, I guess, but I'm talking about location-based scents in Walt Disney World.
Ooh, yeah, absolutely. We talked about it a smidge with Pirates of the Caribbean, that specific location when it opens up and there's that smoke and the water smell. Great.
Yes, in fact, we tied a feature segment to it in episode 48. It was our Fab 5 scents in Walt Disney World, so go back and check that out if you can. But you all know what I'm talking about, the scents that evoke memory of previous trips or experiences you've had before are just so great and really kind of pull at your emotions a bit.
Yeah, they sort of ground you into the experience.
The metal smell on Spaceship Earth.
Not a manufactured scent. That's just oil.
That's just those gears grinding together.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the scents are great. The scents are amazing. Disney does them so well. There's that science again.
More science at Disney.
Speaking of scents, I have to mention popcorn, Adam, Disney popcorn, the smell of Disney popcorn, and specifically that moment of just before fireworks when you grab some popcorn and you're just eating the popcorn waiting for the fireworks to begin at any of the Disney parks. I love that moment. I love how it smells in the area. It's great. It's one of my favorite moments within Disney.
There's no other way to experience fireworks than with popcorn.
And a Diet Coke.
Not sponsored. Okay, I'm not really sure where we are, Patrick, in our countdown. I know I have 2 left.
And I have one left. I think it's because we crossed over and we just kept going. So who cares? This is our day, Adam. This is our show.
You're absolutely right. For my next selection, I'm choosing Stormalong Bay at the Beach and Yacht Clubs.
Ooh, interesting. I didn't know that you had spent much time there.
I have indeed. I've stayed at the Beach Club and I've stayed at the Yacht Club, and both times I took advantage of Stormalong Bay, which I think might be the best pool on property. I have not stayed at the Polynesian, and I haven't explored all the resorts, but Stormalong Bay is fantastic. They have a great little bar there. You can grab a cocktail. You can take advantage of the lazy river. They have that beautiful pool that has kind of simulated sand at the bottom of it. It's just a great pool overall.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you have to be a guest at those resorts to experience it. So really, you've excluded, myself included, many of our Tweedles from your list right now. Thank you, Adam.
That was my whole point in bringing it up.
I had a feeling. Thank you. I really like to live aspirationally, so I thank you for that.
You'll obviously experience this one day. I promise you will, because it is really special and really such a kind of, yes, privileged, but also treat yourself kind of moment.
I will need to find somebody with the funds. So if you're listening right now and you want to treat myself to that, please let me know so I can experience it as well.
Maybe sugar daddy should have been on your list, Patrick. Finding a sugar daddy.
Funny you mentioned that, Adam, because next on my list. Just kidding. But if you're out there, let me know. Hit me up in my DMs. Last on my list, Adam, is pulling into Magic Kingdom for the first time on your trip. Regardless of transportation, they have laid it out so well that however you get there, you're experiencing a really magical sight as you pull up.
Great selection to end on, Patrick, pulling into the Magic Kingdom and having that lake, right? Or using the monorail to get there to kind of kick off your day or evening at the park that way.
Yeah, regardless, like I said, how you get there, if you're walking from a close by resort, if you're taking the bus in, the ferry, the monorail, however you get there, they have, as I said, designed it so specifically that you get a unique experience when you're coming into the Magic Kingdom because there's no parking lot, which is great.
Maybe you take a drone.
Maybe you're dropped in from the sky. Who can say?
Who can say? Yeah, what a great choice. My last choice, Patrick, is Spaceship Earth.
Oh, yes, of course. We all know and love Spaceship Earth, and we all know and love how much you love Spaceship Earth.
Again, tied to my childhood memories of Epcot. It's so beautifully well lit at night. I'm very excited to see the new lighting package they've created for it. I imagine it's going to be spectacular.
Well, it better be. It better be.
Yeah, or we're going to request our money back, and I am certain they will give it to us.
That's right. What's the opposite of a cast compliment? You got Karen'd today. No, you're right. Spaceship Earth, such a magical experience. You have to do it on every trip, right? Like it's a must do for sure. It's always extraordinary. So excited for the refurb when and if it happens.
Yeah, inside, outside, Spaceship Earth. I heart you.
Speaking of Disney Sense as well.
Tied to Disney Sense, tied to Disney Tastes. Wait a minute, what?
What are you tasting on Spaceship Earth? Who are you tasting on Spaceship Earth, I should ask?
Well, Patrick, we did it. 50 things, probably more, that we love about Disney World.
50 plus things.
What was your experience like putting your list together? Mine was actually a little bit emotional. I was getting a little bit emotional thinking about all these things that really spell out a Walt Disney World experience for me.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it was stressful. It was stressful, Adam, because I have some packing to do, and I can't be bothered with this GDTD show. You know what I mean? No, just kidding. Yeah, same for me. Just thinking about, there's so many things, right? It was actually hard to come up with a list of just 25 things that you love about Disney, which is why we have this podcast, I suppose.
That's right. And we would love to hear from you what you love about Walt Disney World. So please reach out to us. You can do so on social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast.
Or leave us a voice memo or email at info@gaysdothed.com.
You know what's really going to be fun is when Walt Disney World turns 100 and we're still doing the podcast and we have to list 100 things we love about Walt Disney World.
By then it'll be 100 things we are absolutely upset about at Walt Disney World.
Cranky old men. Yeah.
Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
I like when we mix it up. It makes me feel special. It's like a unique gift to ourselves.
Thank you, selves.
Thanks, us. Adam, it's time. It's the last quick D before our big trip.
It's the last quick D before our trip. Maybe we'll get some quick D on our trip. Who can say?
Oh my. Maybe on the flight there. Who even knows? Who even knows? Mile High D? Anyone? That might have to be an episode. But we are, in fact, here for some quick D at the end of our episode. This week, we're bringing back Marry, Kill, Disney Plus, and Chill theme parks edition, but very specifically because we know we're going to be putting many things in our mouth on this trip. Adam, you know what I'm talking about. Let's do Marry, Kill, Disney Plus, and Chill Disney treats.
Oh, I love this.
You know, I love getting intimate with a treat, you know?
You really haven't lived until you've been on a Disney vacation with PK. And the way he looks at a treat, the way he caresses a treat, the way he kind of sensually talks to a treat before he devours it is something to behold.
It's true. You really have to sort of mesmerize it and ask for permission before you put it in your mouth.
Consent is key, yes, before you devour that treat.
Even with treats, everybody, even with treats. Well, Adam, who goes first? You tell me.
I'll give you my 3 selections first.
Excellent. I'm very excited.
I'm going to make it difficult for you, Patrick.
Oh, dear.
Marry, Kill, Disney Plus, and Chill. Peanut Butter Rice Krispie Treat. Mickey Premium Ice Cream Bar.
Oh,
Churro.
Interesting. I can think of several options for each of these treats. It's really a wonder why we haven't been picked up by Disney yet. I don't understand.
They hate us so much, I'm sure.
They do. They really do. Okay, listen, everybody. I think I'm going to have to kill. I'm going to murder a churro, everybody. I'm going to murder that churro.
Oh, my God. So useful, Patrick, that churro could be.
Could be. But for me, that churro will not burrow. So I have to get rid of it. Are we still on the air? Have we been cut off?
Oh, I just got a little dizzy. I laughed so hard. I love that you took the time to rhyme about your choice.
Yeah, all of my choices will be set to poetry. No, I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, churro, don't need you in me or my life. So moving on, I think, Adam, I'm going to marry the peanut butter crispy treat.
That's the keeper, right? That's for life.
I think so. I'm ready to make a commitment to the peanut butter crispy treat. Also, it's so soft. You could just lay on it a little bit as well.
Definitely contains so many preservatives. It will be looking fantastic well into your marriage. It
will be well kept for years and years to come. And that means I'm going to Disney Plus and chill with a Mickey Premium Bar. And here's why. Let's involve chocolate in all of our experiences. I think give it a try. Also, that cold sensation could be quite interesting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and it comes with a rock hard stick.
It really does. Or a miniature paddle, if you will.
For some tiny spankins?
My pain threshold is not great. So
yeah.
All I can take is a teeny tiny Mickey Premium Bar stick to the body.
Just the tiniest little slap to your bottom.
I think I've made a good choice here. I'm standing by these for sure. I think we've lost all of our listeners, but we're having fun, and that's what matters.
That's totally what matters. Yeah, I support your choices because you are my friend, and I want you to be happy, Patrick.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And moving on, Adam, moving on to you. Are you ready for this?
Absolutely ready, yes.
Excellent. Marry, Kill, Disney Plus, or chill with, I think we all know it's coming, peanut butter fudge.
Obviously, yes.
It's a clear choice for the running. In Animal Kingdom, Zebra Dome.
Oh, okay. Things are getting interesting.
And the giant pink donut.
From Joffrey's?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone, take a moment and let your minds do what they will with these options.
That donut has a hole. It does have a hole.
I've been called a big pink donut quite a few times in my life.
Okay. I am going to kill the donut.
Oh, okay, fair. Why? Explain yourself.
As appealing as its shape is, as attractive as that donut looks, I think there's just simply too much of it for me to enjoy for a lifetime. And if I got intimate with the donut, I'm afraid I would never go back. So it's best if I just don't open that door, you know?
I like it. The conservative approach. I appreciate it.
I mean, what if I really liked that experience? It would be like a Jerry Springer episode of, I'm in love with a donut.
What if? I mean, come on.
No disrespect to Joffrey's. They are beautiful donuts, but they're just not for me, so I've killed it. I'm going to marry the peanut butter fudge, Patrick.
Of course you will. Of course you will. I'm sure you'll be very happy. I wish you all of the happiness.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We are registered at Pottery Barn, so if anyone is interested in sending us a gift, we will happily accept that.
I, Adam, take you peanut butter fudge.
The peanut butter fudge is like in a little veil. Wouldn't that be so cute?
Or a tuxedo. You don't know.
I know. It's a veil.
Fair enough. You're heterosexual for that peanut butter fudge.
Well, I'm also in a veil, if that makes any sense.
Ooh, it doesn't, but that's why I love it.
Suddenly everything is coming together very confusingly.
Speaking of which, we are on to Disney Plus and Chill.
Yes, that means that I am f***ing a zebra dome. Not quite sure how that works logistically or who's going to fulfill what role. Maybe we will switch roles. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the zebra dome swings, but yes, I am going to have relations with a zebra dome.
I mean, it's so soft and firm at the same time, you know, that outer shell and the softness inside of it. I think it's a great choice.
And an excellent metaphor for me as a person, just a hard shell with a very soft interior.
Yeah. That's how I would describe you. That's for sure.
I wonder if the zebra dome and I could have a threesome with that peanut butter rice.
Ooh, I hope to never, ever see that. Ever. I think the churro and the big pink donut might want to get together, though.
Stop it, Patrick. You're turning me on.
Never, ever say that to me again.
That will do it for this episode of Gaze Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gazedothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gaze Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast, and submit your questions or show ideas to info@gazedothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.